The One Year Bible, the Living Bible paraphrased, August 28. Job chapter 28 verse 1 to chapter 30 verse 31. Men know how to mine silver and refine gold, to dig iron from the earth and melt copper from stone. Men know how to put light into darkness so that a mine shaft can be sunk into the earth, and the earth stretched and its deep secrets explored. Into the black rock, shadowed by death, men descend on ropes, swinging back and forth. Men know how to obtain food from the surface of the earth while underneath there is fire. They know how to find sapphires and gold dust, treasures that no bird of prey can see, no eagle's eye observe, for they are deep within the mines. No wild animal has ever walked upon those treasures, no lion has set his paw there. Men know how to tear apart flinty rocks and how to overturn the roots of mountains. They drill tunnels in the rocks and lay bare precious stones. They dam up streams of water and pan the gold. But though men can do all these things, they don't know where to find wisdom and understanding. They only don't know how to get it, but in fact it is not to be found among the living. It's not here, the oceans say, and the seas reply, no, nor is it here. It cannot be bought for gold or silver, nor for all the gold of Ophir or precious onyx stones or sapphires. Wisdom is far more valuable than gold and glass. It cannot be bought for jewels mounted in fine gold. Coral or crystal is worthless in trying to get it. Its price is far above rubies. Topaz from Ethiopia cannot purchase it, nor even the purest gold. Then where can we get it? Where can it be found? For it is hid from the eyes of all mankind. Even the sharp-eyed birds in the sky cannot discover it. But destruction and death speak of knowing something about it, and God surely knows where it is to be found, for he looks throughout the whole earth, under all the heavens. He makes the winds blow and sets the boundaries of the oceans. He makes the laws of the rain and a path for the lightning. He knows where wisdom is and declares it to all who will listen. He established it and examined it thoroughly. And this is what he says to all mankind. Look, to fear the Lord is true wisdom. To forsake evil is real understanding. Job continues. Oh, for the years gone by when God took care of me, when he lighted the way before me and I walked safely through the darkness. Yet in my early years, when the friendship of God was felt in my home, when the Almighty was still with me and my children were around me, when my projects prospered and even the rock poured out streams of olive oil to me, those were the days when I went out to the city gate and took my place among the honored elders. The young saw me and stepped aside, and even the aged rose and stood up in respect at my coming. The princes stood in silence and laid their hands upon their mouths. The highest officials of the city stood in quietness. All rejoiced in what I said. All who saw me spoke well of me. For I, as an honest judge, helped the poor and the need and in their need, and the fatherless who had no one to help them. I helped those who were ready to perish, and they blessed me, and I caused the widows' hearts to sing for joy. All I did was just and honest, for righteousness was my clothing. I served as eyes for the blind and feet for the lame. I was as a father to the poor and saw to it that even strangers received a fair trial. I knocked out the fangs of the godless oppressors and made them drop their victims. I thought, surely I shall die quietly in my nest after a long good life. For everything I did prospered. The dew lay all night upon my fields and watered them. Fresh honors were constantly given me, and my abilities were constantly refreshed and renewed. Everyone listened to me and valued my advice, and was silent. when I spoke, and after I spoke they spoke no more, for my counsel satisfied them. They longed for me to speak as those in drought time long for rain. They waited eagerly with open mouths. When they were discouraged, I smiled, and that encouraged them and lightened their spirits. I told them what they should do and corrected them as their chief, or as a king instructs his army, and as one who comforts those who mourn. But now those younger than I deride me, young men whose fathers are less than my dogs. Oh, they have strong backs all right, but they are useless, stupid fools. They are gaunt with famine and have been cast out into deserts and the wastelands, desolate and gloomy. They eat roots and leaves, having been driven from civilization. Men shouted after them as after thieves. So now they live in frightening ravines and in caves and among the rocks. They sound like animals among the bushes, huddling together for shelter beneath the nettles. These sons of theirs have also turned out to be fools, yes, children of no name, outcasts of civilization. And now I have become the subject of their ribald song. I am a joke among them. They despise me and won't come near me, and don't mind spitting in my face. For God has placed my life in jeopardy. These young men, having humbled me, now cast off all restraint before me. This rabble trips me and lays traps in my path. They block my road and do everything they can to hasten my calamity, knowing full well that I have no one to help me. They come at me from all directions, they rush upon me when I am down. I live in terror now, they hold me in contempt, and my prosperity has vanished as a cloud before a strong wind. My heart is broken, depression haunts my days. My weary nights are filled with pain as though something were relentlessly gnawing at my bones. All night long I toss and turn, and my garments bind about me. God has thrown me into the mud. I have become as dust and ashes. I cry to you, O God, but you don't answer me. I stand before you, and you don't bother to look. You have become cruel toward me, and persecute me with great power and effect. You throw me into the whirlwind and dissolve me in the storm. And I know that your purpose for me is death. I expected my fall to be broken, just as one who falls stretches out his hand or cries for help in his calamity. And did I not weep for those in trouble? Wasn't I deeply grieved for the needy? I therefore looked for good to come. Evil came instead. I waited for light. Darkness came. My heart is troubled and restless. Waves of affliction have come upon me. I am black but not from sunburn. I stand up and cry to the assembly for help, but I might as well save my breath, for I am considered a bother to jackals and a companion to ostriches. My skin is black and peeling, my bones burn with fever. The voice of joy and gladness has turned to mourning. 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verses 12 to 17. Well, when I got as far as the city of Troas, the Lord gave me tremendous opportunities to preach the gospel. But Titus, my dear brother, wasn't there to meet me, and I couldn't rest, wondering where he was and what had happened to him. So I said goodbye and went right on to Macedonia to try to find him. But thanks be to God, for through what Christ has done, he has triumphed over us. So now wherever we go, he uses us to tell others about the Lord and to spread the gospel like a sweet perfume. As far as God is concerned, there is a sweet, wholesome fragrance in our lives. It is the fragrance of Christ within us, an aroma to both the saved and the unsaved all around us. To those who are not being saved, we seem a fearful smell of death and doom, while to those who know Christ, we are a life-giving perfume. But who is adequate for such a task as this? Only those who like ourselves, a men of integrity, sent by God, speaking with Christ's power, with God's eye upon us. We are not like those hucksters, and there are many of them, whose idea in getting out the gospel is to make a good living out of it. Psalm 42, verses 1 through 11. As the deer pants for water, so I long for you, O God. I thirst for God, the living God. Where can I find him to come and stand before him? Day and night I weep for his help, and all the while my enemies taunt me. Where is this God of yours? They scoff. Take courage, my soul. Do you remember those times? But how could you ever forget them? When you led a great procession to the temple on festival days, singing with joy, praising the Lord. Why then be downcast? Why be discouraged and sad? Hope in God. I shall yet praise him again. Yes, I shall again praise him for his help. Yet I am standing here depressed and gloomy, but I will meditate upon your kindness to this lovely land where the Jordan River flows and where Mount Hermon and Mount Mizar stand. All your waves and billows have gone over me, and floods of sorrow pour upon me like a thundering cataract. Yet day by day the Lord also pours out his steadfast love upon me, and through the night I sing his songs and pray to God who gives me life. O God, my rock, I cry, why have you forsaken me? Why must I suffer these attacks from my enemies? Their taunts pierce me like a fatal wound. Again and again they scoff. Where is that God of yours? But, O my soul, don't be discouraged. Don't be upset. Expect God to act. For I know that I shall again have plenty of reason to praise him for all that he will do. He is my help. He is my God. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 7. Just as the rich rule the poor, so the borrower is servant to the lender.